Jobless Jason.
And I'm
Lazy Leslie.
I'm not lazy. Today is Saturday, February 15th, and we are in Granada,
Spain.
I've realized that a few random people have found our videos on YouTube, and I apologize. We are early retirees traveling around. We are in the last few weeks of our 9-week trip to Spain, and this is really our personal video diary, and our parents watch it probably, and we are not professional YouTube people. So with that said, we'll go back to where we were in our last saga. We were leaving Cordoba, and we thought it should be easy.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
Well,
oh yeah, we walked out,
we got on the airport bus,
airport bus, EA bus, which is real easy.
Very easy.
It got us there real easy.
Uh-huh.
It had a whole plan. It was easy.
It was easy. Somehow we got distracted. We don't know.
Well, you quit looking at the map.
I looked at the map, but then maybe I got distracted. Then we were talking about why is something named Kansas City.
Yeah, because one of the stops was named Kansas City, and that led me to think, who's in the Super Bowl?
We talked about that.
So I was wondering who was in the Super Bowl. And then, by the time I figured that out, I had stopped looking at the map, and we were at our stop.
And we hadn't pressed the button
on
the bus, so the back door didn't open.
And people were already getting on and paying to come on.
And we couldn't get up to the front to
because
get
so
on.
many people were coming on.
So we had to ride to the next stop, which was Kansas City.
Yeah.
And we got off.
Which wasn't that far, maybe half a mile or something. A little bit more.
So we have our bags because we're moving places, and my backpack isn't bad, but I have to carry another bag that has all of our toiletries, and that's just kind of awkward more than heavy. So we hook it quickly.
Yeah, we had plenty of time, actually.
We did, but of course I worry that what's
funny
is on the train or on the bus, I was worried that we were going to be late, and you said you don't need to be worried, we're fine.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you don't have to book the new ticket if we miss the train. And you said, well, I will. And I said, then I won't worry. Anyway, we got there.
And we had plenty
of time. Went through the little security check. Got on the train.
Got some extra walking in with a heavy pack.
That was great.
Yeah.
And then we got to I'll call it an apartment, but we had to check in at a hotel. So the hotel owned this apartment, and we did get upgraded to this giant 2-bed, 2-bath, modern, although recently remodeled. Everything was sort of cheaply remodeled, but it was fine. And we're like, oh, this is so nice. What room are we going to sleep in? Oh, look at this bathroom. And then I walk into the primary bedroom, which has the ensuite, and I find my favorite friend.
Screaming.
I found a giant cockroach on the floor.
Reminiscent of living in North Carolina.
If you know me, you know I hate cockroaches.
Somehow you forgot that well, I don't know. You didn't used to in North Carolina. They were just more common then.
I don't remember that part of North Carolina.
And we haven't had them for a long time.
Anyway, I yelled. Jason's like, what? And I was like, kill it. And you're like, I'm not getting that on my shoe.
Yeah, I mean,
because it was like,
it was big.
It was like that.
Probably a little bit bigger.
I didn't get that close. So you did get toilet paper and you flushed it.
A little crush.
So that was early in the day. So I was traumatized, but I moved on. The one thing, it did have that drain smell that we have had in different places, but it was fine.
That's just...
They don't really have P-traps or something.
Yeah, so you smell that now and then.
Yeah. So...
But... And cockroaches are very common. It doesn't say anything about the place. It's just they're very common in this environment.
I've heard this actually before.
With the world heating up, it's just the way it's going to be.
Right. So beforehand, I had looked up a sushi restaurant because food is always a struggle. That was what, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes from our apartment. So we went there. Jason had sushi. I had yakisoba, which kind of tasted like ramen noodles that you cook on the stove. Tempura
that wasn't
shrimp.
very good.
No, it was not very good.
I mean, it was okay. It was better than.
The tempura shrimp was excellent.
Yeah, and mine was good.
Well, and they brought this tiny little container of soy sauce.
Yeah.
Like a little
very small
pouring thing. And then Jason didn't have any wasabi on his plate.
Which was fine because the sushi was so good with the caviar and it was really good. So it was fine. The wasabi would have actually drowned out the flavor. But I like wasabi. So I wondered about wasabi because Spanish food is
lacking spice.
Like no salt, really not anything. If it's hot here, it's more like they call it, spicy is not hot.
It has flavor.
Spicy means it might have some spice, so some flavor to it. Anyways, are we getting to where I asked them? So I just happened to ask the waitress who
did speak English.
Pretty good English. If they had wasabi. This is after we were done and we're paying the bill.
Yeah.
And I just said, do they use or have wasabi? And she said they were supposed to put it on the plate,
a little bit.
Just a very tiny amount. But they usually forget because no one likes it, or no one asks for it, so they always forget to put it on. Just a tiny amount.
A tiny little bit.
And she said it's too spicy. I hate it.
I hate it. She was very adamant that she does not like wasabi. It was pretty funny.
But I can't imagine, based on the food that they eat, wasabi would be way too. I think
it would be a lot.
It would be a lot for them. For the average person, apparently, and that's just based on Indian food being
not spicy.
Even if you ask for it hot, it's not going to be
hot
until we got here, actually. So it's still not American hot, or like British hot, or
So then it was Saturday, so we had to go to the grocery store because Sunday wouldn't be open. So we went and got drinks and snacks and bread. No bread. Fruit, random things. And then we went to a cemetery in town, which ended up being kind of a neat cemetery. And we walked around there, and we walked around, and we got candy, postcard, and then our apartment was freezing, and we had just come from Jerez, where we were always cold in our apartment, and Jason Googled the thermostat box and got it working. So that was nice.
We had it off.
Yeah, we didn't have it on.
Well, it's off, and we didn't turn it on, so it was freezing. But once they turned it on, it worked well.
Okay.
It was nice to have a room that was warm.
Yeah. So the next day was Sunday, February 9th. We were going to I'm going to call it the Mezquita. I don't know how you really say it in Spanish. Mosquito. And we bought our tickets ahead of time, like a couple days. And we were debating on whether to go Sunday or Monday. And for some reason, we just said we'll go Sunday, because Sunday looked like it was sold out in the afternoon. So we get there, we have a 10:30 ticket. We're looking around. It was a really interesting building. Not too crowded parts, but the tour groups, and then they'd move and it wouldn't be too bad.
It wasn't bad.
But we're looking around, and we had thankfully seen mostly everything, and there's an announcement: you need to leave, we're closing at 11:30.
Which it had emptied out, and we were kind of like, wow, everybody left.
Yeah, because they were closing to have church services. But that was not on the website. I even went back and looked. I did find it in a really obscure place, but there was no warning whatsoever that if you come in at 10:30, your ticket's for 1 hour.
Yeah.
I was kind of crabby about that, but it really was enough time.
Yeah, it was enough time. We saw everything.
Yeah, and if I had known it closed at 11:30, I would have felt like I had to rush, and then I probably would have enjoyed it less. So in hindsight, fine.
Yeah, more just the frustration that you can't find things like that.
Just tell me.
Yeah. But
and we had pizza.
remember it. The
left for
place.
Brica.
Yeah, that was good.
We found a pizza place. We went there. It was good.
Olives.
They
which
had
were really
olives,
good.
like the little appetizer olive. Pizza.
But we weren't sure what to do with the pits.
Yeah.
So we watched. We Googled it, and
A Spanish man and woman sat down. I was like, we're gonna learn how to eat our olives, and then they sat there for.
Because at first we tried cutting them with a knife, but
Yeah.
it had the pit in it, and that was
rolling
really
around,
hard to
it
do.
was loud. We're like, that can't be right. So you Googled it, and then this couple sat down, like, we're gonna know what to do. And then they sat there for 20 minutes and never ate an olive.
Yeah.
But you do take the pit out with your fingers.
Yeah, you eat the thing with your fingers, and it's funny because they're communal, so everybody's sticking their finger in
And
there.
it said you should put the pits around the plate that the bowl is on, but then I did see people
Yeah, we already
had
had
on the
ours
plates
on
because we had on our plate, but
it worked.
it was fine. We walked around. I loved Cordoba a lot.
Yeah, it was nice.
Just the town was a good size.
Yeah, not overwhelmingly crowded.
Not too many tourists, but cleaner than, say, like the side streets were a little nicer than Jerez, just more better upkept or something. So I loved Cordoba. And then Monday the 10th, there's a park with an airplane. So of course we had to go see that. What type of airplane?
I can't remember now. Just a passenger.
DC-7?
DC-7, yeah, I think something like that.
It's some rich guy bought a couple of these and it ended up in a park, and the city has tried to do a couple things with it, but it just sits in the
It's just a big
park.
plane in the park. It was on my pictures.
Yeah. And then we went to the mall. It was right there.
Yeah, and it wasn't as crowded because it was a
Like a
Monday.
Like 12 o'clock.
Lots of optical stores. Always
Shoe
lots
store.
of optical
Lots
stores.
of glasses, although not many people wear glasses.
Well, you've seen. I'm sure they wear glasses.
Inside.
Yeah.
We don't see them. And then we were going to go to Popeyes, and I was really excited.
Oh wait, we stopped at McDonald's and got
Well, we got a coffee because Popeyes wasn't going to open till 1 o'clock.
Oh yeah, Popeyes isn't until 1 o'clock.
Because, Spain. But we saw that they had spicy
reviews.
chicken. Yeah. Well, as we're drinking our coffee in McDonald's, we did look at the reviews, and they were pretty bad. Like photos of raw chicken, like whole pieces of chicken, not like.
Yeah.
But.
Well, actually, the reviews were kind of good, but then there
were
some bad ones.
Well, when you looked at the overall reviews, it was really good. But when you started reading them, there was more than 3 or 4 raw
that were pretty nasty
chicken pictures. So we decided that
wasn't a good idea.
Jason did not want to be sick again.
Yeah.
So
we went to our old pastime, our favorite Spanish food, Burger King.
And we made the mistake of going to the one right in the historic area
section
instead of the one that was more in the shopping area. So there must have been a French school tour in front of us ordering.
And that was fine.
It was fine. It took a while. It was loud. You were allowed 4 free ketchups. I ordered a barbecue sauce, which they did not have.
No.
I ended up with a cheese tip.
Yeah.
It was, Burger King. It was kind of gross.
Yeah. It was yeah.
And then we toured the bell tower at the Mezquita.
And that was good.
Good.
That was worth the €3-something
€3 each.
For a half hour. But it was nice views.
Yeah.
I think that was worth it.
I think it was worth it.
Because, nowhere else would you see the high spots. I saw.
I don't think they had any other.
Yeah.
And then we walked. Walking is our standby. And then Tuesday the 11th, we were coming to Granada. And that was seamless.
Yeah, I was getting it mixed up with it in Seville in the beginning, but...
No, we walked to the train station, which we knew where it was without the phone.
It's so hard to remember all that stuff.
And
we went there.
We got on the train. We arrived here at 1:15, but we couldn't check into our Airbnb here till 3.
Yeah.
So our plan was to go just hang out in a park.
Which
with
we
our
did.
bags, which we did.
Over in the college section. Well, the whole town seems to be a college section, but yeah, it was very nice over there.
We had oranges and
snacks. And sat there for a while.
And then I was hungry, so we found a grocery store further away, and we walked with all of our bags, and I bought Pringles. Jason stayed outside like a beggar, and we ate our Pringles in a park, and we're heading back to our Airbnb, and
we decided that it was getting closer, so we would start making our way back.
So we could stop and put down our bags if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And I get a message on the Airbnb app that our apartment isn't ready. There was an issue, and we could check in at 5.
And this is like 2:40.
Yeah. But if we wanted to bring our bags, we could do that. So I said, of course, we want to bring our bag. And we get here, and the man that owns the apartment, husband and wife, he speaks English.
Doesn't.
I don't think she really did much.
Right.
But first, she opens the door, and she was like, "Bolsa," which is bag, because we only have little bags, and we didn't have suitcases or anything, so that was surprising. But
surprising for her.
Yeah.
We said,
nope.
Just this bolsa. No other bolsa.
Jason didn't notice, but when we walked in this apartment...
Well, I saw the stuff somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, like the couch we're on was across the room.
Everything had a sheet, cover
Plastic
over it.
cover.
Plastic.
Above us, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes in the ceiling. There were pipes on the floor.
Plaster laying all over the counters and on the floor.
And they're like, "Come back at 5." And I was like,
5.
okay.
Yeah.
So I, of course, negative Nelly said, "There's no way this is going to be ready at 5. You know, if it's not ready, are we going to get a hotel?" Which we decided we would. But in the meantime, we
walked up the most beautiful street.
Oh, we did. We walked around, sat in a park.
But you couldn't really enjoy it because
you were just
of your negative thoughts.
Bad brains. And then we came back and we sat outside of our building.
Actually, I didn't worry too much about it. I figured
it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It just was frustrating.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating.
I'm sure they knew at 1:15 he wasn't going to be done at 3, and we could have dropped off our bags.
Yeah, it would have been nice to
or gone to a restaurant.
We could do something else. Yeah.
So we're sitting outside of the apartment at like 4:45, and we see the guy that had been in here leave with his tool bag and
plaster
boxes and plaster. So I was like, that's a good sign. So at 5:05 we waited, because Spanish people, I'm not sure they think 5 is 5, but we rang the bell, and Carlos was like, "I'm gonna come down and talk to you for a minute."
And we're like, "Oh boy, what does that mean?"
Great. But he came down and he just said they're finishing cleaning, and we need to hang out here. The floor is drying. That's what he said. So he was great. He kind of gave us an introduction to the neighborhood and told us some restaurants to go to. We asked him about soccer games, and it really was maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And we came upstairs, and I was really shocked that the place was put back together.
Yeah. And it turned out it was planned.
It was planned.
It just went over.
Yeah. The people before us didn't leave till 10:30, so that guy came in and went a little over. It was fine.
Yeah.
And we decided at that point we would just have Indian food because it's 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
And what was your review?
Nice. I thought it was good. Yeah, the Vindaloo. I got Vindaloo. I wasn't gonna get Vindaloo.
But then it had
because I was thinking it's not gonna be hot, and I'll just be disappointed. So I'll just get something that's mild. But I saw the pictures, and they had 3 peppers, and I thought, well, maybe it's actually hot.
Well, and I ordered buttered chicken.
Oh yeah, that was right. Because I was going to get korma. Yeah.
And I said, "Can I get that spicy?"
But the kid was not Indian. He was
Spanish.
clearly Spanish.
I think.
Yeah.
And he said, "No." I was like, "Okay." So then I think you. Like,
so then So then I switched to Vindaloo, and it was hot, but they also gave us hot sauce.
Oh, there was a spicy sauce. So I could pour that in which worked out well.
We ordered pompadons, and we got them, but it was just one pompadon.
It was large, and we shared it. It was
still
fine.
an issue, but at least we got one.
We got one.
Yeah, we didn't need any more, as it turned out.
My food wasn't great, but it was fine. I didn't have to
And
cook.
it was just kind of bland, but you could add that hot sauce to it, but it's still different.
Even the leftovers were great. And
mine was really good. Lamb was good. It was spicy. Yeah.
So Wednesday the 12th, we got up and went to the grocery store again because there were a few things we couldn't find. Where did we go first? Carrefour. So then we went to Mercadona. That was overwhelming. Grocery shopping's getting easier, but it's still, even the same type of grocery store, the layouts, because they're in older buildings, are not similar. So you're just kind of searching for everything, and it takes a lot out of me to grocery shop. But we did finish grocery shopping, and then we came back. I took a nap. I don't know if you took a nap. And then we decided to walk up to see the Alhambra from outside.
Yeah. In that one neighborhood. Albacine or something like that. Oh.
But it's very hilly.
Yeah. Pretty good hills. Not as strenuous as Gibraltar, but
more than like Morgantown, I would think.
Longer.
Like walking up High Street towards the dorms in Morgantown, but for longer.
Yeah.
So that was nice. It was a really good view.
Yeah.
And then we had leftovers. And then Thursday the 13th, we did go to the Alhambra. The free parts.
Free parts, not the actual palace.
We don't go till the
inside.
24th. Yeah. So I found a website that talked about all the places you could go for free. So we walked up through the forest and saw some, it's basically old entry gates.
Yeah. Old gates around the place.
That you can see. And then, I have in quotes, the palace.
Yeah. Charles V Palace. It's free, but it's not. I mean, it's just you walk around.
You can't go in the museums, which are in the interior of the building. You can just...
The free portion of it is just to pass through the
courtyard.
Open courtyard.
So the building is square from the outside, but it has like this oval, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
But it's not old.
Well,
it's old, but it's not.
But it was, remember, it was like redone and didn't have a roof until like the 20s, I think
No,
it was.
The 60s.
Yeah, maybe the 50s, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So that takes some of the excitement
20th century.
Yeah. So we walked around there for a while, and that was nice. It's kind of a big, the forest area. It's a lot of like trees and green and
people riding bikes,
quiet.
running.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah, that's nice. They do have nice parks here.
They do. They're very good parks. And then we went to the pharmacy, which we've been putting off.
Yeah.
For a week.
Yeah.
I'm out of Imodium, or was out of Imodium, or down to like 2 pills, which is not good for me.
And I needed like a Tums type product, but so anyways, I looked them up and I had names of them, and that's just a little bit of a challenge because you can't. I don't know.
Well, you don't know if they're generic.
Yeah,
or
you can't. I
brand.
don't know. I assume they have generics, but you kind of have to ask the person for the product, so they have to get it. So I don't know how you say, do you have this product in the cheapest version?
You could do it on your phone, but
you could, but it's just, it takes too long, and you don't want to inconvenience somebody. It's more about the inconveniencing somebody.
And the pharmacy we went to was really small, so like the majority of their things were in the back,
like behind the counter.
So
you had to ask.
Couldn't pick it out yourself or look. We've been in some pharmacies where we could look at some stuff, but when you're looking, the pharmacist will come over.
Yeah, they come over
and
and start asking. So it's almost like a mini clinic, like somebody's directing you on what to get.
I was worried
and sometimes you just want to look without direction.
And I was like, do I have to explain my bathroom problems to someone to get this
Yeah. But anyways, I showed them the name brands of 2 of the products. So we got the name brands, which we haven't. I tried. Mine seems okay.
I'll probably take my
but
first one today.
Haven't really had to use it, so I'm not sure it works. I just sort of just took it.
So that was like €21 for both of those.
Yeah.
Which isn't great. I will be buying a giant generic Imodium bottle that has like 100 pills and bring it with me.
Yeah. My product I bought will last for a long time. I don't have near as much heartburn here because we don't eat the same.
And then we made dinner because we have all these groceries. The stove is not great, but it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Pasta,
fajitas last night. Sorry, might be going too far.
No, but we made broccoli. We sautéed tomatoes and onions, so mixed all that together.
Well, it's definitely better to have a kitchen because that way we can make food we like versus trying to struggle to find something that's...
I love having a kitchen, even if I have to cook.
Yeah, and you can snack, healthier snacks.
Yeah, we have carrots and peppers and...
peanut butter, bread.
So then we went out in the evening for a walk. So the main goal was to investigate the bus ticket machine, which we did, and Jason's done some reading about what ticket we want, and we saw it on the bus ticket machine, and we're gonna go today and buy it.
Okay.
Today.
And then we can ride the bus.
Yeah.
Which you don't really have to have here. I mean, you can get around, but if we go to a soccer game, we need it. And
the Thai place I want to eat at is at the shopping area, which is a 30-minute walk.
Yeah, so it just gives you flexibility.
I don't like to eat and then have to walk 30 minutes.
Yeah. Hence the Imodium. And it's nice. It gives you the option. And the buses go everywhere. They go up all those small little tiny streets
like little
and all
vans.
those giant hills that you could not have to walk those if you chose, or you could do half and half. And it's nice, just like Barcelona.
Yeah.
Have the walk some, take the bus.
I mean, we're still walking 7 miles a day, so we're mainly walking. And then yesterday was 14th Valentine's Day. It was so romantic.
Pretty exciting. They actually celebrate quite a bit here.
Yeah, they did. They had
The
flowers.
lady in the grocery store tried to sell us a heart cake.
A cake, yeah.
Even though we said we didn't speak Spanish, and she just kept going.
Went into an entire monologue about this cake that was like the traditional Spanish cake, and she drew a heart for me and talked about it being February 14th.
And this is just a supermarket employee, a Mercadona
She was like
employee.
Stationed there to try to sell us cakes or something.
Just odd.
Because she was like hitting up everybody. But yesterday we went to the caves of Sacramonte.
Mm-hmm.
So you've read more about it.
Just where the gypsies live.
When they were run out of the
caves that they kind of dug into the sides. I don't know necessarily run out of the city. I mean, at different times run out of the city
the
and
1400s.
treat it differently. And but they made their homes in the limestone. And that was pretty Cool. Interesting to see.
And it wasn't crowded, so we got to look
Yeah,
around.
it wasn't crowded. It was warm. The
We could
trees
walk
were
up a hill,
blooming.
yeah. And it's kind of weird. You can see the Alhambra from there, and you're on, the river runs there, although you can't really see it, but one riverbank is green and lush, and then the side where these caves are, it's like a desert. It's so, and it's just from sun and
cacti,
yeah,
different kinds of plants.
It's like Germany and then Arizona.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing.
But interesting to read about the history of the gypsies and the persecution that they've been going through.
And it was very uphill to get there. And then we came back and had lunch. And then I've been carrying around a postcard and a birthday card for my friend. And we've been avoiding the post office. So finally we're like, okay, we've got to go. And I found one that was in a shopping center. And I typed up on my phone that I wanted to mail them. And I'm sure that postcard will never make it to my dad. But we get to the shopping center and it's like inside the shopping center. And we couldn't find it. It was showing up on the phone. And finally we asked the security guard and she said it's on the first floor, which is the second floor.
She was excited to tell us.
Yeah, and she was like, you go up and then you'll see it. Not in English, but she was telling us in Spanish, and so we did find it upstairs. And there was a dog at the postage counter barking its head off while we were, so we got postage on those.
Not sure how that kind of...
Bad postcards there.
Yeah.
Maria might get her card, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I have been subjected to a lot of sun, which is making me worried about my melasma. Everything makes me worried. So I did find a hat at the Hypercore for $3. I thought it was $6. It ended up being $3.
I found some olives that I thought were $1.50.
And they were $4.
$4. €4. But they were good. They were what I was looking for.
Yeah. And we found stove cleaner because our stove is not clean.
Our souvenir.
Yeah. Well, we did also buy a bread knife the other day at a bazaar, but so I bought some.
Oh, and they have all kinds of good sauces.
Oh, they
sauces
did. We got some
same
sriracha.
sauces that you can find in the United States.
And we finally found red pepper flakes.
Didn't buy them.
They were $4.25 for like a jar, and
we only got about 3 weeks, so
I really wanted them, but
yeah.
And we bought a container before we came for $1 at Walmart, and I didn't pack it.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. And then I came home, we made dinner, I cleaned the stove. And that was it.
Yep.
So
Watch Leave It to Beaver.
No. And today we're going to the park. It's supposed to be 68 today.
Yep. Pretty
sunny. Hot. Finally, my one short sleeve shirt came out today.
So lots of walking and
son, I'm gonna wear my hat.
Yep.
Take my hat.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
if you made it this far, thanks for listening.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.